Hi, YouTube. Happy Saturday. I'm coming on today because I won't be on tomorrow. There's no Sunday conversation tomorrow just because we're in a holiday week. But I do want to remind you I'll be doing free readings live on Tuesday, which is New Year's Eve, um, 4 o'clock Pacific. That's 7 o'clock p.m., obviously, on the East Coast. Um, so just show up at the live and put your question in the chat once the live starts, and hopefully you can get a reading. Um, I wanted to look at a couple of things in light of this, you know, um, Musk Ramaswamy debacle. Uh, I wanted to say something first about the nature of racism in this country relative to this issue. I think that racism is not like a burlap sack, which is sort of this rough, loose cloth put together. No, it's much more finely woven fabric. So it's not going to be sufficient to just rip it. It's got to be taken apart strand by strand by strand because it is so entrenched in everything to do with this country that I think that a lot of people are unconscious about how that works. Ramaswamy being one of them. Ramaswamy believes that that those HB1, H1B, whatever visas should be increased. The numbers of them should be increased. And he has given as his rationale the fact that, quote, American culture doesn't really value intellect, that they, for example, value sports over math. And so he thinks that we need to import people, primarily, of course, from Asia, uh, to do that sort of heavy lifting mental work. This is what he believes. Um, he doesn't understand the fact, and I'm sure is quite surprised by the fact that the Bible buyers, the sneaker buyer faction of MAGA is affronted by this. He doesn't understand that. And I'll tell you, I think they would have been affronted by it regardless. But what makes it more offensive, I think, to that faction of MAGA is that it's coming out of the mouth of a brown person. Ramaswamy has made the same mistake that Tim Scott has made. Uh, I think he thinks he's an honorary white guy and can just so say whatever. I don't think that's how this system works. And I think Ramaswamy did not understand uh, American culture and the nature of racism in this country. But I suspect he's finding out, and I'm here for it with all the popcorn. So I think the first thing I want to look at is what does Ramaswamy think about about the reaction that he's received to his comments about American culture. What he means by, of course, American culture is white culture. So, how does he feel about the reception that he's gotten? So we'll use he's a young guy. We'll use the young man for Ramaswamy. And we want to know, how does he feel about how he's been received? In American culture, white American culture, uh, if you're a person of color, you can make money. That's fine. But you have to watch what comes out of your mouth because there's no such thing as um, a person of color being given permission to comment on white culture in the way that he did. So here he is. I'll tell you what, we have the lily, the ring, here's Ramaswamy, the anchor, and Clover. I think that he has realized the lay of the land, and he wants to make nice with that MAGA base. Because if you cross them, that's not a good thing. So he wants to make nice. He wants to make them happy. He said what he said, and he overstepped his boundary. Uh, because look, he wants his merry-go-round to keep going around. He wants to keep his position. And now that he's been put back in his place, it'll be interesting to see what comes out of his mouth. I think he will not be so forthcoming in his opinions about white culture or American culture as he has been. Now, Elon is a different kettle of fish because Elon is all, Elon is an immigrant himself, unlike Ramaswamy, whose parents came here. But Musk is an immigrant himself. But the point is, he is sort of the ultimate white guy because he is from South Africa. So Elon will go to the mat on this issue. What is the issue? The argument that foreign, meaning Asian, talent must be imported because Americans are too dumb to do the jobs that tech needs to be done. So I'd like to look at this whole issue from Musk's point of view. So with Musk, he's 50 or more. So we will use the older man for him. This is Musk. And how does he feel about this whole brouhaha? For the older man, and that stands for Musk, who will has said, I will go to the mat on this. So let's see. Oh no, I said I was going to use the older man, right? Hope I didn't pass it. No, okay. Okay, so this is going to stand for Musk. So we have the child, the older woman, we have Musk, we have the key, and we have the bouquet. I still think that Musk thinks, because he's such a rich guy, that his money will win this argument in the end. That's what I think he thinks. Uh, but again, remember, he is impulsive, immature. I understand he's a grown man, he's a middle-aged man, but he's got arrested development. That's what this child card is. He believes he's God's gift. Between SpaceX and Tesla and everything else, he believes wholeheartedly that he is the gift. Now, we have this woman card, and I can mirror it with the key. Hmm. Uh, let's clarify with some other cards. Not sure what that woman card is. Okay. All right, and I'm gonna pull clarifiers on the woman card and on the key. Okay. So on the woman card, he doesn't remember this is yin energy, right? More passive, more accepting energy. He doesn't know how to exercise that kind of energy. That kind of energy is blocked to him. He doesn't know how to humble himself. He doesn't know how to say, oops, sorry, I overspoke, I overstepped, he doesn't know how to do that. All he knows how to do is keep doing what he's doing, which is to be this bully, this narcissist. That's all he knows how to be. Okay. Uh, the key is the card that I can mirror with that yin energy that he cannot access. And we have the key, and that's clarified by my scales card, mice, and snake. Musk's inability to back down from this issue. And what is the issue? Well, essentially, he is an incredible racist. He fits very well in South Africa. And but his brand of racism extends to, classism and elitism, which does not sit well with the sneaker set. So, unless he can figure this out and reach some sort of uh, equilibrium to not be so ugly about all of this, he's not going to meet a good end. He is not going to meet a good end. So, what's that all about? Well, look, remember yesterday I saw that 45, the card in the center of the reading that I did for him was the coffin. And that was just about saying that he's stuck between these two MAGA factions, right? The tech bro culture and the sneaker culture, the Bible thumping culture. He's trapped between them. The thing that I keep thinking of, and I mean, I don't know if he's thinking about this, but I don't know. I keep thinking about Louis and Marie Antoinette and how they ended. I keep thinking of Mussolini and how he ended, which was hanged publicly and then displayed upside down for all the world to see. 45 doesn't want that for his end. And how did that happen? It was because the crowd, and here I'm going to interpret that as the Bible thumping, buying sneaker set. That was the equivalent of the people who stormed the Bastille in France. That's the equivalent of the people who said enough of this Mussolini stuff. 45 values two things: money and adulation. Both groups offer him both things. The tech bros, there are fewer of them, right? But they have more money. So that's over here. The sneaker set is the set that provides 45 with adulation. And I suggest, I submit that if 45 had to choose between money and adulation, he would choose adulation. Because part of why he likes money is that it brings him adulation. And 45 doesn't want to end up like Mussolini. So what's he supposed to do? You've got Musk who could say, well, then I'll take all my toys and leave. I'll leave those astronauts up in space. I won't use Starlink to bring them back down. Forget Tesla, forget this, forget that. Forget your satellites and everything else. Well, okay, but Musk is not going to do that because, that's Musk's ace in the hole. But what if 45 said, you know what? You're causing me more trouble than you're worth. So I'm gonna have you. I think your companies need to be publicly traded. A and B. I feel like you maybe need to be deported back to South Africa. He could do that. And in this battle, he would have chosen then the sneaker set, the Steve Bannon set, and have the adulation of the crowd for however long that would last until the next thing, right? So you know what? I think I'm going to draw three cards for Bannon's sneaker Bible set, right? The great mass of Americans who voted 45 in for whatever their many reasons. And then I'm going to draw three cards for the Tech Bro set. And I want to see which set of three looks better moving forward. Okay. Okay. So this is for Steve Bannon and the Bible buying, sneaker buying set. And this is for the Tech Bros. Who will come out on top? Okay. So for the sneaker set, we have the book, we have the letter, and we have the child. For the Tech Bro set, we have the bouquet, we have the cross, and we have the older man. I'm going to say that just on the face of these cards, the line that has the cross in it is the problematic one. Remember, that's the Tech Bro side. This is the Tech Bro side. So, they've run roughshod so far, and everything's been handed to them like a prize. That will end because 45 will end it. I think 45 will pick the adulation side because if the crowd turns against you, all we have to do is look all over the world. If the crowd turns against you, you're toast. The thing is, though, look at what the cards are that we have for the crowd. Again, this is the Bannon crowd, right? The sneaker buying, Bible buying crowd. The book. The book is about things we don't know. There's a real wild card energy to the masses over there, the unwashed masses. They're scary because they're unpredictable. This card dictates that. Uh, the letter can really be anything. This is the most difficult card in Lenormand because it refers to things that are written, but it could be anything. There's a lot of written stuff going back and forth, for example, on Twitter. Some of it really ugly. I mean, Musk said, I didn't want to say what he said because it's too gross. I'm sure YouTube would not appreciate me saying it. But yeah, he said something really gross about the Bannon set. So people are reading this, people are seeing all of that, and it's hard to know what their response will be. And there is an impetuous, immature, out of controlness to the Bible buying, sneaker buying set. That's scary, which is part of why I think 45 could choose them over the Tech Bros because, again, if the crowd comes for you, you're toast. Now, I just want to look at one last thing. I've seen a lot of speculation still, even at this late date, about the inauguration. And there are readers out there saying 45 won't be inaugurated, still saying that Kamala will be the one inaugurated, or that Biden will keep his seat at the Resolute desk because of other kinds of world events that are going on. I just want to look at the inauguration. Now, the inauguration traditionally has been sort of like a big event, a big party, right? So I'm going to use the card for that. And in Lenormand, the card for that is the garden. And that will stand for the inauguration. And we're just going to look and see what cards are around the inauguration, what kind of energy there is. Okay. Okay, we're looking for the garden, remember, and that will stand for the inauguration. Here it is. Okay, so this is our card for the inauguration. Okay, so I am going to go on record and say what I see, and you may not like it. Hell, I don't like it, but this is what I see. We have the moon, we have the bouquet, we have the garden that stands for the inauguration, we have the ship, and we have the bear. I'm going to say unequivocally at this point that this is the card for reputation, image, etc. And I can mirror it with the last card, which is the bear. This is the card for 45. Malignant narcissist that he is. Entertainment purposes only, and I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist. But anyway, uh, he will be on display at the inauguration, which will be a gift to him as he sails forth right to the Resolute desk. So, for those of you who are holding out hope for some other end to this, uh, this may not be the channel for you. 45 will be inaugurated as our 47th president. Now, of course, that's not the end of the story. And I may come back later and look at 45's trajectory. But for now, I will leave this here. He remember what they're saying, that have your TV, if you're not a fan of 45, have your TV on the 20th, but not tuned to the inauguration. And that's how the algorithm will identify that, you weren't watching it. You chose to watch something else. That will certainly stick in 45's craw. But he will be the one inaugurated on January 20th. And I'll look more at him later on. Okay, thanks. Take care.